down at CRM, Robert Dix Jr. Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix, Rome Sign and Display Company, where we get all our banners here at the Yeti outfit. Liberty Affordable Housing, Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, local representative and a friend of the Yeti. The B-Dry System, water issues in your basement, on your property, contact Brandon at B-Dry. Inside, outside, they can dry you out. Water no more. Family Landscape, make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ, make your yard Yeti ready. CBI Cables, what the pros use. Custom audio, custom video, network and power cables, built for your needs. CBI Cables, plug them in.
Hello, Yeti Nation. What is happening, Paul Noecker and OJ the Dude?
Greg Beecher, Yeti Nation, OJ, we're
Woo!
back.
Great to be
20
here.
2025 NLL. Wow.
Yeah.
A great weekend. A great weekend. Some awesome games to watch and recap and see some highlights. And, you know, we were able to get down to Albany and sit with the Beecher clan, and we had a great time. Great views for some incredible, I think probably my goal of the week, the sweetest goal by Nora's Candy Shop, I definitely think was right in front of my eyes, live and in person. It was pretty cool. Pretty
Nice.
cool.
That was
How you guys doing?
that was a pretty amazing goal. You're talking the Simmons goal, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's
Did you
my,
did you catch the Jack Hanna goal at all on Facebook or Instagram or
I
anything?
haven't seen too many highlights. I was working hard today.
Hannah had a good one, and actually, former Calgary Roughneck Shane Simpson had another pretty amazing one. I don't know if you got to see that one.
Hey, who did he go to again?
He was playing for the Nighthawks. Or no, the Desert Dogs. It was in the Nighthawks game, but he was playing for the Desert Dogs. Ooh,
Nice.
Kai the goalie starts box this week. So congratulations, Kai. He's
Ooh.
down in Georgia. So he gets to play Dobson, the coach, or the goalie down there is one of his coaches. So love getting to hear
Nice.
that.
Nice. Best of luck. Success, my friend. Kick
Yes.
some ass.
But yeah, that Albany game, I tell you, that was impressive. And I don't know.
I had it going on the computer in the background while I was doing some stuff. I was like, whoa, that Albany game was next, like out of the water. Blew
Yeah. Well, and especially so one thing Paul brought up was that, you know, the Firewolves were not hitting the net very well.
Yeah.
And I do have to say that even with they still had almost 60 shots on goal. Could you imagine how many shots on net they would have had if they had hit the net? I mean, they
Right.
missed at least another 15. So I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking 80, 90 shots almost. I mean, yeah, no, they were ripping like it was going out of style. I honestly have to say Shigliano was the factor in that game, I think.
Yeah.
He really surprised me with that. I did not think Shigliano was going to play that good, to tell you the truth. He was my
Yeah.
surprise of the game, and he could have been the star of the game, really, as far as I honestly think that was the difference. He played amazing. I think Dougie played good. I mean, he had, 43 saves.
43 saves, yeah.
And a lot of good ones. It was a great game, back and forth. I think Shigliano was the difference maker, though.
I'm going to throw another little, as far as Josh, I'm going to tell you one thing. I've been to a lot of games throughout all the various sports that I've been around, and my man Josh had the den rocking. That kid, awesome job, my man, because he with his horn and with the bell, and
he gets the horn. He's got the chants going.
He's right there, and he was all game long. He didn't let up, so he definitely got my MVP award for definitely a spectator, but he was right into that game. It was awesome.
Fan of the game, right, Paul?
Absolutely. He was clearly the fan of the game. No question. No question. He rocked it. Awesome job, Rod. Keep that going. Great crowd in Albany, Greg. I mean, we didn't get to say much about that, but we were there last year for the opening game against Buffalo. Granted, I think there was a little bit of a snowstorm going on, but props to the Albany guys getting some people into the stands because it was rocking. Mike did an awesome job on the PA system. Mike
Belvo did a great job on the PA
Yeah,
system. Huge shout out to the media. Albany, their marketing and media has really gone above and beyond. They've been packing the guys in. I mean, Zach Manzo, I think, was the I mean, you look at the 4 goals there, and wow, what a Church with the 5 assists. Honestly, I was very happy with some of the Albany offense. Josh says they weren't meshing quite well, which I think anytime you bring in a big star. So last year we started the season without having that star mentality there. You had Marshall from the year before, Ethan Walker. None of those guys shoots like Alex Simmons does. Alex Simmons is a shot taker, as you see in the stats there. He had 14 shots on goal, probably 20 shots, but he makes up for it because 12 loose balls. I mean, he does a great job on that. Anytime one of your offensive guys is leading your team in loose balls, that's a great sign for offense. And I think that really goes to Shigliano. I mean, he was playing amazing. They got multiple opportunities. Kudos to the defense. The transition, I think, was a big factor there. I mean, how many breakaways did they have?
One key one, that was for sure. But I don't. They what killed them? They had the break. Albany was staring at the shot, and the Rush were just breaking out on it. And there was several at quite a few key points.
4,800 in the attendance, and I think
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
no, it was an it was good. It was rocking. Like I said, it was probably one of the best attended games I'd been to there. The fans are getting into it. I mean, you have a good product on the field, and I don't think, even though they lost, it was such a good game that you're not going to lose any fans like we started to that first year. Or not the first year. The first year was a decent year. Second year was brutal, and then last year was great.
Yeah,
I feel like that's coming my way soon.
You're getting the brutal year this year, OJ. Yes, you are. But no, I was excited to see Ethan Walker get the first goal too. I mean, Ethan Walker, a great leader, somebody that doesn't always get talked about. He kind of gets overshadowed with some of the stars that are on this team. But I mean, he played good. I think, it's in the comments there. Ryan says too, it really is. They need to gel. You've got a young offense. They didn't dress Paulus. He was a healthy scratch. I'm hoping he plays gets to play this week.
Marshall? How dare
yeah.
How dare that?
Well,
yeah. Zed Williams there. And he was
Dyson Williams, not Zed Williams. So
yeah.
his dad, Dyson Williams' dad, is the coach of the Desert Dogs.
I think I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that game. We're going to get into that game next after the Firewolves game. But no, I honestly think, though, I mean, when you look at how everybody did with the game, it was a good game and went back and forth. I think, honestly, the post-game press conference, Colton Watkinson said it best when he was asked about the penalties, and he just said no comment. And
No
Clark
comment.
came in and said, we got some things we got to clean up. It wasn't a bad game. They had their opportunities. Ball didn't go. Very similar to their game last year, and they were the ones that were able to win it. So I was expecting our man Prairie Tan to be in here to be talking about the SAS team going up, but he's not in here yet. He'll probably jump in late, and we'll have to tell him, sorry, you already missed your Globe Fest on
You missed your chance.
the Firewolves.
The media people for Saskatchewan there, actually, they were chirping it up pretty good after the W. I was seeing a couple of them, and I had to like them on. It was on Twitter there, and as far as the they were lighting it up, and I had to respond. Love the banter. That was good stuff.
Yeah, no, I think it was. I mean, it was a good game. Either way, it was a well played game. It definitely wasn't a game you're going to be like, wow, that was a waste of money. Everybody was happy to go watch it. Very entertaining game. The boys played their hearts out. I don't think anybody could really doubt that. And then we get into the rest of the picks. So, I mean, as we saw the rest of the week. So, what do you guys think about that Ottawa game?
How about that, huh?
Yeah.
That one, I wanted to go back and watch it, but it's not It's not on my ESPN Plus. I can't go back because it's a Canadian.
I want to go back and watch it too because I caught maybe a little bit of it.
Yeah,
but I was at Lacrosse on Friday, so.
Well, I ended up being able to watch the whole thing. Thankfully, I sat and watched it, and I think the biggest thing that happened in that game, though, was really last week. You had a bunch of injuries, so you had Challen Rogers, huge injury. I don't know why my camera's not focusing on me. It's like blurry. But so Challen Rogers, there we go. Yeah, I'm here. So Challen Rogers, big injury. He's out. TD Ireland, that's a huge. And then Brad Cree right beforehand is out too. So when you talk those three guys, your face-off guy, your one of the defenders of the year, on top of Jalen Rogers, who's one of the best transition players you're going to have, gets things done. Yeah, it's very it was a very rough win for them. I
Yeah.
expect that season, and I expect a lot of guys like Adam Levy who picked that to maybe want to change their mind after they've got some of these long-term injuries going. Because without that defense, I don't see Toronto making it that far.
Yeah. And Paul, I think the reason you can't stream it might be the same reason I can't stream it, is because it was the game of the week.
Oh, okay, so it's a TSN special game of the week, and they
Yeah.
got you. Yep.
Okay,
Well,
so
it's just, Kyle the goalie said here that
Kai,
hopefully the NLL, Kai the goalie,
yeah.
they're supposed to have their stream up soon, so hopefully that'd be cool.
Everybody says that, and I tell you what, I checked that NLL Plus app and have been nothing but disappointed. They announced it like it was a big deal. None of the games have been on there. It's still the last year's.
Really?
It's still last year's final. I actually was hoping you could tell me something different, Owen. I was hoping because we had
Oh, okay.
ESPN Plus in the
Yeah.
USA market, but I was hoping maybe for the Canadians it was a little different, and that's why they're touting it so much. But for us Americans, I am still only looking at last year's finals in the highlights, which I don't need to watch Buffalo do that to the, again. I saw
Yeah.
that once.
Yeah.
That was enough.
No, I'm looking at it right now, Greg, and I can watch any of the games from week 1 on on here right now. And during the games, they were all on there too,
Well,
other than the TSN game of the week.
Yep.
So yeah, so for the Canadians, they've got that. We're gonna be stuck with ESPN Plus paying. I would expect that's their workaround because it's really not fair for the Canadian guy. It does suck though that I have to pay, and I think our price is going up again because that's just kind of how it is. But no, unfortunately, we will be stuck with it. But I got to get on to the Sunday game. I don't know if anybody else watched the game yesterday, but I tell you that Philadelphia Wings and San Diego Seals game. Wow, that was a barn burner. Philly came out and Philly was on a run, and I was like, man, did I misjudge Philly this year?
Yeah, I think we all did because
Yeah.
they peppered up the first quarter, eh?
And it really so San Diego's D came on pretty good afterwards, and they played good. Ligrieri came back later and played well. They actually put Poulin in for the spell, and
wow.
yeah, no, I mean it wasn't just one of those where they pull him for like 2 minutes. They actually like pulled him and then had to sit him for probably. I think he was out for a good 10 minutes. It was he took a pretty good breather. I think they did the quick change, another goal happened, and then they put Poulin back in. I'm trying to remember as I was watching it. I took notes, but of course now I don't have them. I got to get OJ pulled back in here. I didn't like how you guys were split because when I went to my pick'em screen, it messed everything up. So we're gonna do a quick swap here. But I tell you that Poulin, I think that's going to be huge. I don't know if it was his leadership that was able to calm Ligrieri down, but when he came back in, the second half of the game for him was really like the tale of two games. He played much better in that second half, and really that entire San Diego Seals defense, they came on a lot stronger. But I was pretty concerned about their defense there at first. I was like, oh boys. This is going to be a long year for you. You guys needed to clean some stuff. It kind of looks like you took a step backwards, but they kind of made me eat my own words there in that second quarter, keeping them to one goal and scoring 7. But honestly, I think a lot of that was they really did a good job getting some offensive rebounds afterwards. And Benesh, though, I mean, Ryan Benesh, if this guy can hold it up. And I have always been one of those guys. I critique Benesh for not always running off the floor, not always playing defense, not being in the best shape. And I tell you what, he actually blocked a shot, got a couple turnovers. Benesh completely come way. It was a different Benesh. He looks to be in shape, flying out there, really tearing things up. Whether or not he can maintain that, we'll see. He's never been known to be, in the best shape. So we'll see if he can hold that for the year. But the veterans with Holden Catoni and him getting it going. And I tell you, I think the Wings did pretty good. I like Deacon Knott when he came in at the end. They had Daymood played all right. They pulled him right at the end. So Deacon Knott, and actually the Deacon Knott goal, I believe that he let up, wasn't really his fault. He was pulled goalie and was sprinting back. I think he was standing next to the guy when he scored. So I really won't count that one against Deacon Knott. I think he played at Lax now. I'm trying to remember where I watched that young man play. But he's another 19-year-old guy, and he is phenomenal. I think
Yeah,
as he gets better, and Kel's got a lot better too. But what did you watch any of this game, OJ?
I did not, unfortunately.
So Brendan O'Neill gets a quick goal.
Yeah.
Everybody's losing their mind. Everybody loves him. And he's going to be a great player, hands down.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of the field things. He's got to get a little better. He's got some guys on that team, though. I mean, when you talk playing with Resetaris, Blaze Reardon, you're playing really with some of the best players in the in the league.
Yeah.
And the guys are going to be able to help you out and get through it. So he's going to get that box acumen. He's going to get
Yeah,
better
once he
as
gets
he
that
goes.
box IQ, he's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, and it's gonna get there. I mean, you watch a
Yeah,
lot of these
totally.
guys, and
Totally. I saw my buddy Zach Courier had caused turnovers there.
well, I was going to ask you, did he ran out the back door in Calgary, right?
Yeah.
And he took faceoffs for Calgary too, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think he took any, but I did not see Baptiste.
Huh.
Trevor Baptiste was not there taking
Yeah.
the faceoffs, and actually at one point they might have had. I think they did have him take one, but no, I
Oh.
was very impressed with the way San Diego responded. Yeah, it was good. Tony Malcolm. I think San Diego is going to be good. I mean, obviously the answer for them is how good can their goalie be?
Yeah.
I mean, is Allegrieri going to be good? And I honestly think right now, after watching that game with Chigliano, they made the wrong decision because they went with Allegrieri, and Chigliano had a rough year last year,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
so now coming back, and right there, Ryan's got it. It was 95% of possession. They got every single rebound, it
Oh
seemed like.
wow.
And at one point, Philadelphia had 7 minutes of power play and didn't score.
Wow.
7 minutes of power play and came out of it
Didn't
minus
score.
one. San Diego scored a shorthanded goal. I believe no, that one wasn't Dixon's goal. But no, San Diego scored a shorthanded goal. No,
Oh, wow.
yeah, the over the head check that Courier got, I did want to clip because they were talking about how he's probably the best at it, and it was a very nice check. I was impressed with it. But yeah, watching that. All right, well, good night, Kai. You have a good night, and have
Yeah,
your
good
dad
night,
reach out to
Kai.
me on social media. We're gonna hook up and get you on here one of these days. But
Let's do it.
yeah, that's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, definitely kick some ass at the tryouts from our buddy.
Yes.
Go for it.
Good luck
Go
to
for
you.
it.
But no, it was all possession when you watched that San Diego game, though. I mean, I watched it, and exactly like Ryan said, they held the ball forever. That was a big thing. And then that Colorado Vancouver game, Paul, you watched that. What were your thoughts on that one?
It was definitely a tale of two halves, that's for sure. As far as Vancouver, the first half, I'm pretty sure they had 33 shots on goal in the first half, and I think what maybe Philadelphia, not Philadelphia, the Mammoth only had maybe 7, 8. I don't even know what it was off the top of my head, but
Not very many.
Not very many at all. And Ward wasn't looking too great. He was kind of slow to act. And holy goodness gracious, whatever coach said in the locker room definitely fired the boys up because they came out and they had the Vancouver coach. Ward had him basically pulling his hair out. They were letting words fly left and right, and it was pretty intense there at the end.
Yeah, no, I watched that Vancouver game and I was like, the first half I literally was like, okay, Vancouver's got this. Yeah, no.
Yeah. It was literally they flipped the switch on.
Yeah,
and it was completely vice versa.
Yeah,
good game though, definitely good game.
It was a really good game. Like,
the intensity there. I didn't think Mammoth were going to have that in the the bag, and they came out and they showed what they ain't no joke yet.
No, they didn't. Actually, we're gonna. Eric just pointed out in the comments there that Shigliano is. They're probably keeping him for. Or they went with Liglieri because of the youth, whereas Shigliano might get worn down a little bit, and I will agree with that. And I think that's going to be, Vancouver is going to build as the year goes. Colorado, who is usually built as the year goes, I think is going to kind of do the opposite. I expect this to be an earlier year for them. I think having Ryan Lee back, I hope they can maintain it. I think it will depend on how well Dylan Ward can hold up and how well he plays. But really having Ryan Lee back really completes that offense, I think. And then Will Malcolm there, he came. So Panther City not being there anymore really spread out a lot of guys who are like who were your top guys at Panther City now are your second and third guys. So like when you look at Will Malcolm, they were asking him to do a lot at Panther City, whereas now he can fill in and be that guy. He's got Connor Kelly, Ryan Lee, Zed Williams. Yeah, you've got so much more help coming out of the offense that it really I think I do expect Colorado to have a pretty good year. I don't think they're going to make it all the way, but I was very surprised at how well Vancouver was handling them at the beginning of the game. I was like, "Wow, I did not expect this at all," and I actually kind of turned the game off. Basically, I really stopped watching. I was up at hunting camp. We were hanging out, and I watched the first game because it was exciting, and I was excited because I picked the Black Bears, and I knew they were going to win that first game. But I thought Colorado was going to win, and it was not looking good, so I shut that right off. And then when I turned it on the next morning, I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to have to watch that one again." But
I gotta hit the recaps, that's for sure.
yeah,
So the one that we're not talking about is that one that everybody remember. You just drive on by, kind of like that Utica factor. Is the Rochester game? They all, as far as I was saying that it's time for Connor to do what Connor does, and Smith has got to step up, and sure enough, they did. I was fired up on that one too.
Yeah, let's get into that game. I love that game. And Josh asked in the comments, is anyone surprised they didn't play opening weekend? I think this is what usually happens. They play a couple games.
Who didn't play?
That like everybody didn't play opening weekend, or there wasn't more teams playing. That it was a kind of. I think there's a lot going on with arenas and stuff, and it's kind of rough. And that is one thing that we all got to realize too. Is unfortunately for us, the NLL is not the lead. Unlike the Firewolves, whereas they are the primary, they run the show. There's no other big team there. A lot of these teams have other big league teams they're competing with, and I think that happens a lot trying to set up ranks and figure things out to get things scheduled in. Would be my guess, but I don't know. Yeah, that is weird that it really was only a few games. But that game. Oh, sorry.
But it's the same way this weekend, isn't it? Now there's the other ones. The Buffalo's playing this week, where Toronto's off until they play in Albany, isn't it? Something like that.
No, Albany and Toronto are playing again this week. Buffalo and Rochester are playing. So, yeah, a lot of the teams are playing again. It's still a pretty light weekend. There's going to be some teams that still haven't played, actually, looking through there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, literally for Calgary especially, the Roughnecks have to fight with 3 other attendants in their stadium.
Yeah. See, the Roughnecks are fighting with 3 people, so it's much different. That's probably why you don't have your home opener for way later in the season every year, OJ, because we always get started.
I'm not gonna lie. That might play into it, because we have 3 hockey teams that play out of that rink too.
Yeah. It's and especially the NHL team. That's a big draw there. Although the Roughnecks do have a huge draw.
Honestly, in the last year and a bit, the Roughnecks have had better crowds show up than the Flames.
Except for one team has a pretty darn good process.
They sell out.
18,000 people.
they sell way more tickets than the Sabres do. I have not been to a Sabres game in a long time, but I have never been to a Sabres game that's like a Bandits game. That Bandits environment is something else. But I think this Vegas Desert Vegas Desert Dogs game, the Nighthawks Desert Dogs game, I think that was a huge statement game for both teams. I mean, really, I don't think anybody expected Vegas to be in that game. I think most people thought Rochester was going to blow them out, especially guys like Paul. And we've already got some chance in there for Fields, the early MVP. So I do have to say I was very impressed with Connor Fields' assist. He had a bunch of assists before he even scored, so that was a huge thing. If he's going to continue to play like that, I would expect that the Nighthawks are going to do way better. If Hutchcraft, my question is Hutchcraft really that good? Or was it because he played the Desert Dogs and we just thought the Desert Dogs played better than they do? What are we going to see next week when we see this?
Well, it's a matter of same with the Desert Dogs as far as that goes. Year two, now they got some two full training camps. They got guys that have been there now. They're knowing each other. Kell's coming off he was in the Man Cup, wasn't he?
Yeah, he played for Peterborough. He had an 8-3 season with an 8 goals against average. They said
he came in and he darn near had 60 saves. So obviously he's playing his game.
Yeah, no.
I was going to ask you what you thought about it, Paul, because I know you haven't always been the biggest Landon Kells fan, but I watched him and man, Kells look good.
Yeah, right.
I mean, maybe we can take some of the credit. He did used to back up Delbs.
He did used to back up Delbs, so he's just gotten the years of watching him. But the yeah, winning sells. I like that comment, Josh. That's amazing. Winning sells. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But no, I think Connor Fields, the biggest thing right there was the 7 assists. And I mean, he still took 17 shots on goal, which is what he does. But they also did a great job getting some offensive rebounds. When you look at their loose balls, I mean, Connor Fields picked up 10 loose balls too. He's freaking. Yeah, he's
same with Launchberry. Launchberry, he had 10. Connor Fields 10. Bells, like you said, 10. And several sevens. That means their feet are moving. That's the biggest thing, and it makes a difference. Keep them feet moving, young guys.
Yeah, no, they keep the feet moving. I honestly think if Hutchcraft can play like he did. I mean, I think Vegas is way better than everybody was expecting them to be. I think losing Panther City was a huge shock to the league. I think the talent, I mean, it was already tough to get a spot in the league. It's that much tougher now.
Yeah. Power play makes a big difference. You sit in Albany felt it. Obviously, the Dogs getting 7 penalties. You're putting your team at a deficit right there. It is what it is. Stay out of the penalty box and put the ball on the net.
Yeah, no, and that's one thing. So the league talked about they are really big on trying to holding the stick penalties, and they weren't kidding. They wrote an article on it. Check it out on the NLL. They were going to enforce it, and they did. And I noticed it right away. Wagner got a couple. Albany was not ready for that. I think they need to get it figured out a little more.
Well, you got one under the belt.
Alex Simmons should get more MVP. Josh just can't get away from Simmons, and I actually can't either. I think I think that was the biggest story of Albany's weekend, really, was that he came back running and just where he left off, full speed, going. I think I think that was a huge that's a huge attribute right there. So we've covered all of the games from last week, which means we're on to next week. This is where it gets fun. All right, so now we're going to find out how we can do this. So there's our icons. I've got them up and ready to go. Friday night's game, Mammoth versus the Desert Dogs. OJ, I'm making you go first.
Ooh, Mammoth versus Desert Dogs?
Yeah, who you picking?
Ooh, I want to go Vegas.
Okay, Teclax for Vegas. Paul.
It's tough to say because I watched that game last week, and Mammoth looked darn good, much better than what we did. But we're sitting here, I'm going through the stats and looking at everything, and I'm kind of liking the Vegas, but I think I'm gonna go with the Mammoth. I'm going Mammoth.
Oh, you're going Mammoth. I was kind of hoping that you were going to go with Vegas so I could go with the Mammoth and tell you guys that Brian Lee and the offenses. I am going to go Mammoth, but I will kind of label it with a precursor that if Landon Kells and that defense can continue to stand up and they can do that against Connor Kelly and the group that is this Vegas, offense, or I'm sorry, the Colorado offense with Ryan Lee being back, I think this is a big test for him, and we're going to find out how much of a player Vegas is going to be, because I honestly expect Colorado, Vegas, and Rochester to be battling for that 6, 7, 8 spot. Who's going to be the couple teams that are out, who's going to be the couple teams that are in. There's not that many games in here, though, so it does add up quickly. Ryan's got all his picks. Mal, I love it. So we'll go through and compare. Yeah, everybody throw your stuff in there.
Absolutely put them in there. That's what it's all about.
Ryan,
Josh is taking Colorado. Everybody picked against OJ, it looks like. All right, OJ, should I just check you off for the Roughnecks, or are you going to be honest?
You can check me off for Roughnecks.
Okay. I am a
gotta go. It's the first game of the season.
Absolutely, but unfortunately, the Halifax is going to be too much for you. Paul, who are you going with?
I'm going with Halifax. I watched too many of these guys play here in Utica, and wow.
Well, and also Halifax has a pretty large contingent of Onondaga guys. I did not realize I did that podcast with Tyson Bell. We were talking to him. Plus Bob had told me about all, Jammer and all those guys. So finding out more and more of those guys, I got to be the Onondaga guy. Yeah, I told him I went to MV, and you can see he was like, oh, all right, I know what you're talking about. So that was funny.
Greg, I just want to trace back to that last game. All honesty, if Birdie was playing with Vegas, I would have went with Vegas, but that's no more Birdie. I'm going to go with
Birdie, I'm out.
No more Birdie, I'm out. I sold stock.
All right, Paul, I will let you go first for the Bandits game because I'm pretty sure I know who you're taking.
You got to go with the defending champs, no question.
100%. OJ.
They're coming back ready.
What are you saying?
I mean, I got to go Bandits too.
I mean, they're traveling to Rochester. Rochester's coming off a big W, in Rochester. So, Greg is there.
I still pick the Bandits to win more. The Bandits will be better than Rochester. The Bandits are slow starters. Matty Vince has not played anywhere super competitive in the summer. The way this Rochester Nighthawks team just came out, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to in Buffalo. It's home. It's in Rochester. They're going to Buffalo travels well.
The fan base is going to be there. Rochester's going to be rocking this weekend, no question.
Ooh, and we also got Josh in there is taking Rochester over Buffalo. A
game in hand is no question a huge asset. There's no question. They got a little chemistry going.
I like it. I think we're going to go with it. We're going to see what happens there. I'm going to roll with it. Paul, what do you got going on this weekend? Are you any chance you're driving out to Rochester?
Probably not. Sunday, we have the Junior Yeti are rocking over in Oneida again at the Mary Windsor. So I got to prioritize. We're prioritizing. We're growing the game, baby.
That's right. All right. So next one, we got the Albany Firewolves versus the Toronto Rock, which obviously, I don't want to do what I just did. I just moved everything. We don't want that. All right, so Firewolves. Obviously, I'm going with the Firewolves. Paul, who you going with?
Well, I'm sitting here debating after watching. Toronto didn't do nothing, and I got to go Albany.
Got to go Albany. It's got to be Albany. And I think with the continued injuries, it's not getting any better for Toronto anytime too soon. Yeah. Unfortunately, I would love to. I'd love to see it differently because I do like Nick Rose too. I got to meet him at Worlds. What a nice guy. But definitely against that. All right, OJ, are you going with Canada?
No, actually.
No.
Seeing how Albany played that first week, I gotta go Albany.
100%. So all right, we can all agree then pretty much that Yeah, Josh is like they might try to find a way. I'm not saying we're going to walk away with it, but I think
Yeah.
the new offense, and I don't see Toronto continuing to be that bad, but I don't think, Josh, you understand how key those defensive components were. In losing your face-off guy on top of your two top defenders, yes, you got Latrell Harris back, who is a very good defender, but he doesn't replace three of them. It's yeah, I think a lot of that depends on the injury list and how that shakes out. This one next one though is going to be tough. So my man Kai, we could count him as picking the swarm if he was still in the show. But
Yeah.
Yep.
Kai's smart enough that he's going to sleep so we can study. Who you
And get
taking,
ready for
Paul?
the
You
playoffs.
taking the swarm or San Diego?
I got to go with the San Diego because they got the game under their belt.
So you're going with San Diego because they already got one in.
Oh, hold on a second, though. It's in Georgia. So, no, it's not. It's in San Diego.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's in San Diego.
No, it's in Georgia, according
It's in
to
Georgia.
Charity. But
Okay.
we went through it like 4 times. Yeah, according to the NLL website and this, it's in Georgia.
Game info. It's in Georgia. Okay, well, maybe.
No, you were right, hon. You
You
can
were
hear her
right.
yelling from the living room.
Yeah.
I'm going
Hi,
to go.
Jerry.
Everybody says hi, hon.
I'm going Swarm.
I was going to go Swarm too. I think.
Bomber's going to light it up. He's
well-
going to take that the experience that he gained from the Worlds, and you want to know what? We didn't talk much about him. Bomberry is going to be something, I think, this year.
All right, OJ,
I-
did you pick?
Not yet. I gotta go with my boy Zach Currier and the Seals.
Yeah, this is more of like my most questionable game of the week is this one
Is
right
this
here.
one? Yeah, totally.
You don't know what you're walking into with Georgia yet. They're just starting up, but I think Paul's right. So you've got Bomberry, you've got some guys firing up for Georgia. A lot of those guys play for that Haudenosaunee team. They're gonna be
Ooh.
ready to play. When you look at the offense down there, I think it's going to be huge. Georgia, I think, yeah, Josh has San Diego taking a step back this year. I honestly think that's going to be part of the case too. I think everybody's kind of overblowing this Wings game. I
Yeah.
don't know if the Wings were maybe we'll be surprised by the Wings, but I think watching that Wings game, all I could think about was how Higgins was the right choice over Damoud. I just feel like that Black Bears game, I watched that, shutting down Schreiber and those guys up there. He played great. Damoud didn't play bad, but he didn't make those extra saves.
Dodson, 6'2", 200 pounds. Good sized kid. I think he's going to step in, take the shots for him.
Plus, he's Kai the goalie's coach, so it's hard to pick against Kai the goalie's coach. But I think like Ryan said, between the Chiefs and you got the Haudenosaunee guys, you've got quite a few guys that are just rolling. But
Yeah.
I will say, like, Longboat played for the Chiefs this summer, and I think that's part of the chemistry issues that we're having with Albany. I think that you don't really see a lot of these offenses. So I talked to Stamper about this last year. He said the defense gets better as the year goes on because of the communication and it's easier to run your things. But I think your team offenses get better too. I think early in the season is where you see guys like Lyle Thompson and guys with that creativity who can maneuver are going to really shine through a defense that's maybe not gelled, all the way. But when it comes to the team offensive guys, the guys that are feeding guys all over the place, it takes a couple weeks to get that. These guys really, you come together for training camp. Maybe you have a midweek practice, depending on if you're lucky enough that you can make it to wherever your game is or your team is playing. But a lot of these guys have only played together really 5 or 6 times now going into it. So I think anything's possible. Buffalo, I think that's what happens with a lot of their team. Their team plays all over the place. They got guys in Can-Am. They got guys playing in the Chiefs. They got PLL players. They're all gone. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
They're
Hey,
they're sitting on their porch drinking Kool-Aid. That's what Matt Vince was doing all summer. He's sitting on his porch drinking Kool-Aid, hanging out.
Yeah, I got an email early on before the season started this last year, Whether it was a spoof or not, I'm not sure. But I had an interest inquiry by somebody by the name Matt Vince. And was it a spoof? Was it not a spoof? He never got back in touch with me after I reached out, but I was like, how cool would that be?
That would have been amazing. All right, so you're picking a team this year. Who are you taking as your number one pick? Are you taking Matt Vince?
I'm going for the three-peat, absolutely.
Okay.
As far as
No,
for
I'm saying if
myself,
you had to pick a new goalie, like who's your goalie this year? If you had to pick,
I'm going
still
with the
picking
wily
Vince?
veteran,
Okay.
absolutely. He's proven himself how many years in a row now? He's been in the championship game how many years in a row?
he gets there.
He gets there,
He gets it done.
and that's what you're looking for, right? He's old, hopefully you got a good backup to give him some breather if he needs it, but you got your backups are all getting the reps for the most part inside practice. He's coming in
Yeah,
and
well,
he's getting some rubber and he's stepping out and letting the other guys do what they got to do. He's
They're-
that veteran.
their backup right now is playing for the Ottawa Black Bears, and I was not very impressed watching him step out last year. So I don't care who plays for that team. If it's not Matt Vince, they're not winning. I watched that team play without Matt Vince, and it was not even the same game. It's not just what he does in the net; it's what he does out of the net. After every goal you watch, the whole team goes into the crease. They look at the replay. They either get a scolding or they get I don't know what it is he's doing in there, but I don't think I'd want to be in there if I missed the slide.
What's the old saying go though? Defense wins championships, right?
Offense scores goals, defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships. I mean, props to Saskatchewan in that game. We didn't really talk about it much, but I know me and you reached in and we was talking about it during that game, watching them be the 2 and 3 goalies. They were sucking the pipes, and just absorbing shots. Props to the defenseman players in this league because they stick to their routine, and you want to know what? It works out. That's what Buffalo does. I kind of like it sometimes, and if it does well, you win championships.
Yeah, when things are good, everybody loves it.
Yeah, you got the reigning MVPs coming back. But Connor Fields is right down the road. We're going to find out this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to find out this weekend, and I think for sure we're going to find out that Buffalo is a very slow starter, like we've seen every other year that Buffalo's been involved in the league. But no, what do you think is going to be the most entertaining game to watch this week? I would have to say it's probably going to be the Swarm. I think it's going to be that Swarm San Diego game. If not that Rochester, I really might drive out to Rochester. I kind of want to see that.
Honestly, Greg, I was just going to say, you want to know what? With the way that the Buffalo fans travel, that place is going to be rocking pretty good.
I reached out to Cooper today from the Rochester Bats. I was like, "Hey, you going?" He was like, "I don't know yet." I was like, "Well, keep me posted." And he said the same thing. I'm debating if I want to write out to the media and see if we can get credentials out there, just buy a ticket and go hang. I've never been to a Rochester game. Rochester's not too far.
I watched the original Swarm their very first time they played in Rochester. My wife took me up there for a birthday present, so it was pretty cool. Great place to watch. Bang has played in there against Coop's Bats team in the Rochester Invitational there, so it's a nice place to play ball too and watch.
Yeah, you guys played right before a game, basically, right?
Yeah. Last year we had complications. Bang had complications with. We have a Yeti. We're starting to play at that point in time, so we had conflict with a tournament that we were in with the Yeti, and the same weekend with the Bats. So, unfortunately, Bang didn't get the opportunity. So, hopefully, everything works out with the season this year. But yeah, it's a nice place to play. Nice arena. The Dinosaur Barbecue is right across the street. Right across the river.
I have had that before, though.
And that's good stuff right there too.
That's good stuff.
It is. Yeah, as far as I think honestly that's going to be the game of the week. I think Buffalo is coming. They got to come back proving something.
I don't think Buffalo starts that early. I think Buffalo's going to. I think Buffalo's offense is going to be a little slow. I think. Josh brought up a good point with. When Hartley went out last year, it was a rough year for Rochester, and that's the biggest thing that if Buffalo without Vince is going to be rough. But Hartley getting that whole rough year, or Hutchcraft, is that what he needed to this year now be a better goalie? Did he just have to take his lumps last year and he can eat some humble pie and go, or was it big? We will find that out this weekend because there is way too much offense on that Buffalo team. Like I think if Rochester wins this game, it's got to be a 15-goal game. Like they have to win with 15 goals. They're not winning
or
with
more.
10.
Yeah, or more. These guys coming off the Worlds, I'm excited to see. They played together. They got that much more chemistry going together. Who's got a better right side? They're huge. Watching these guys, they're not little guys. The left side, the right side, left side, right side, left side. They got it. Nanitoke coming through. Is Nanitoke? There's your question mark. Is Nanitoke going to be Nanitoke and come back and be that man that can get through the middle? He's got some crazy goals that we've seen over the years.
Yes, he does. All right, we've done 45 minutes, everybody, and we never played our commercials because we never took a break. Thank you very much to the sponsors, though. Without the sponsors, we would not be here. So please support any of the local sponsors if you get a chance. Check out all the Junior Yeti stuff. They got a lot of stuff going on. Going to be big happenings. We're going to have Aaron on pretty soon.
Yeah, we got Border Wars coming up. The boys were together yesterday out in the Mary Windsor. Like I said, small gathering. I think we had about 12 players there because of people traveling for the holidays. But we'll be back rocking and rolling the next 2 weeks there. And then Border Wars here at the Nexus Center. And pretty excited about that. The boys are getting fired up. We got some guys, new guys that are coming in and running with the Junior Yeti. So Coach has got the word out there that we do exist. So cool. We're looking, and we got the college. For those that are in the college age group or 17 to 22, circle the date of December 28th. We're going to be having a open run for college age, or for the college group. The NABLL is sponsoring a new league this year for the not to say Junior Yeti, but the Utica Yeti concept that will be in it. And on the 28th, we're from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We're having a $30 come in. You'll get a jersey and show us what you got, because it's college break, and let's run some box. Nice. And let's see what we got for that next round of Yeti.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I almost forgot to do OJ's stat picks. Next week, he's going to make it a little bigger for me, and we're going to do a little bit wider of each thing. But, OJ, do you remember who all your leaders were? Can you read them?
I have the picture up on my end, too.
All right. There you go.
So, Owen Grant was the leader with 4 block shots. And turnovers was Robert Church of Saskatchewan. And caused turnovers was Holden Grallett with Saskatchewan. And penalty minutes was 39. That's got to be 3.9, not 39. With Jackson Savage.
I just love how you were like, that's got to be 3.9, not 39. I hope it is. I'm trying to click on it as fast as I can to get to the stat leaders.
Yeah.
Like, please, show me the stat leaders.
Okay. And then we got Connor Fields, who did shots on goal.
Yeah.
With 17.
No surprise there.
Right?
Yeah.
Although, I was just going to say, although I do have to say, unfortunately, Simmons is usually pretty close to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few too.
Yeah.
Okay. And then loose ball king this week is Scott Downley with the Wings. And then
13. And Alex Simmons and Zach Curry were just behind him with 1 apiece. That's why next week I think we're going to have you do a little bit longer of a list so we can look at some more of these guys. But
yeah, totally.
Yeah. What we were just talking about, and he was or what I had mentioned with their Saskatchewan defense. How many block shots did that Churches have? Or I can't read it. But that was that defensive style. They sucked in and didn't allow for that extra quarter inch of the ball to get through. It was a solid defense. It was a great game.
7 turnovers, game. Robert Church.
Yeah.
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 They're what was that big kid, number 29? What's his name?
Is that Holden Garland that you're talking about for these guys? That's he
Yeah,
had the three caused turnovers. Mike Byrne had a good game as well, but yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dylan Ward, you're just cheating on that one, giving him the. They all got one win for this week.
Yeah. Goalie minutes. No surprise there. It was Frankie Chiliano.
Which we got to give to him because he got the win
Yep.
over Dougie. Otherwise, they'd be tied.
Yep.
Yep. And then saves was Landon Kells with 58.
58.
And if you'll actually notice, the two leaders on that week are from that game. So you had Kells and Hutchcraft. That's a lot of shots in that game. If Rochester
Shot a minute.
If Rochester plays like that, no, that's 2 shots a minute. On that,
Shots a minute.
yeah, each
On
team has a shot a minute, so that's 2 shots a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a shot every shot clock easily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they but at one point I want to say when they scored on Hutchcraft, they had 7 or it was on Kells. They had 7 possessions. 7 possessions that they got it. And that's what's killing the Wings as well, and that's why I think it's not going to matter for Daymood. Like 7 offensive series in a row, they just kept getting the ball over. They ended up with 7 shots on the guy. And you can't expect your goalie to stay up to that. I mean, none of these goalies can do that. It's too much to stay on it and keep going back and forth. If you don't give these goalies a break, it's brutal. That's just impossible.
Yeah.
All right, well, we started saying goodbye 10 minutes ago. Let's really say goodbye.
Necker, shut up, Necker. OJ, I want to say thank you again for what you do and getting these stats up there and being a part of this. It's great stuff. I got to say, hey, Greg, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for getting those seats that you have down in Albany, because that is a special place to watch a game. Great spot. Josh out there, incredible job cheering your team on, my man. Don't ever stop. That's great stuff. And Yeti Nation, we're going to rock it out again next week. Make sure you tune in, watch some more lacrosse, throw us some questions, and we'll see you then. Residential Management. Contact Jason down at CRM. Robert Dix Jr. Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix, Rome Sign and Display Company, where we get all our banners here at the Yeti outfit. Liberty Affordable Housing. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, local representative and a friend of the Yeti. The B-Dry System. Water issues in your basement, on your property, contact Brandon at B-Dry. Inside, outside, they can dry you out. Water no more. Family Landscape, make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ, make your yard Yeti ready. CBI Cables, what the pros use. Custom audio, custom video, network and power cables, built for your needs. CBI Cables, plug them in. Norris Candy, home of the original candy turkey joints. Check them out online or stop in 321 North Dockstader Ave in Rome, New York. Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Authentic German beer, authentic German food. Try the schnitzel. Ask for a cross-check. Utica's finest barber shop. Contact Jordan Baldwin or Kevin Beach on Booksy.com. It's where Crosscheck gets his haircuts. Duratagre, for all your new construction plumbing needs. Outside, inside, all around the town. Contact Dura. You need the pipe? They have the pipes. Utica Club Lounge, where the Yeti hang out, pre-game and post-game. Incredible food. We have live music. Have a drink with the Yeti. Get some autographs. Bay Farms, where the beef's at, where the hay's at. Contact Jimmy Fay. Master Vito Hyundai. Make your move to Master Vito. The Yeti have. It's been a great season so far. What a score. Brandwide Distillery, Cortland, New York. Stop in, say hello to Jimbo. Check out the shop. While you're at the shop, get yourself a little sampler. Sample that coffee liqueur. Have a little gin and tonic maybe. And I know he's got that rumski. Stop in. It's what the Yeti drink. Join us on Monday nights. Toast with Brandwide Distillery. Utica Mac Incorporated. For all your sales and service needs, contact Branches Similar